learning is a habit ke you do it out of habit, which is your subconscious mind ke.
But if you think about it biologically, habits are just made to save effort.
Good habits huncha ani bad habits huncha हैन. At the end of the day, like we build habits, but in the long run our habits build us. It's like it took me 10 years to be an overnight success, one has to.
After a point you're saving so much effort that you don't even know where your effort is going.
I will go to the gym to be a healthier person. So I am a healthier person, so I will go to the gym.
Bored feel भयो भने instead of opening my Instagram, I've started opening the Kathmandu Post ko app.
It completely like changes the whole way you think about
narrative.
things.
Hi everyone, I'm Kritisha.
And I am Aditya.
And we'd like to welcome you all to Dhikichyau The Podcast, episode 13. So as you guys can already sort of notice, we're doing this thing online this time because Chow has been traveling.
Yeah. I'm back. I'm like back in my hometown and I've been like more ekdamai धेरै पछि यहाँ आएको and everything has changed so much. So I'm in Janakpur and I've been here like after 4 or 5 years होला. Like सबै रोड बनेर के भएर यहाँ आउँदाखेरि त like the whole place is so different के हुन्छ नि. There's so many things going around. There's so many things happening यता अनि well it's been an experience. I've been here for like this is my second day here, third day. म योभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ I was traveling झापा हुँदै झापा बिर्ता मोडमा बसिरहेको थिएँ म for a week. So it's been quite a journey. तराईको हुन्छ नि अनि प्लस लाइक दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम 2020मा आई थिङ्क आम ट्राभलिङ आफ्टर लाइक द लकडाउन के लकडाउन भरि त द होल 2020 अब घरमै बित्यो नि त अनि लकडाउन भरि घरमै थियो अनि त्यसपछि पनि काठमाडौँमै थियो अनि या दिस इज काठमाडौँबाट फर्स्ट टाइम आउट
त्यो 2020 सकिन लागिसक्यो इट्स डिसेम्बर नाउ
एक्ज्याक्टली लास्ट मन्थ यार अलराइट Let's make the best out of it, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, like, at this point, I don't even know what no lockdown wala life is. This lockdown has been so habituated.
It's not a complete lockdown anymore, but still, like, the restrictions and, like, the easy travel गर्नु नमिल्ने जता अब भनौँ न weekend getaways हामी त like every weekend जस्तो नै we used to go out, hang out or like हुन्छ नि sleep over, like go around town हुन्छ नि तर त्यो नै आजकल त्यो पनि गर्दैन like just the basics हुन्छ नि things we didn't even have to think about.
Exactly. म त अस्ति I had this memory wala thing like Snapchat मा हुन्छ नि 2 years ago 3 years ago अनि त्यति बेला चाहिँ it was all like party गरेको हुन्छ नि ग्रुपहरुमा बसेको अनि I was getting so anxious because त्यो भिडियोमा I wasn't wearing a mask अनि like डर लाग्यो त्यो भिडियो हेरेर because it's so unusual नि त like त्यत्रो ग्रुपमा बस्नु without a mask. So yeah, it's scary how things change.
ठिकै छ. I'm hoping 2021 will bring some exciting things, which it will, hopefully. So, okay, let's get on with our Azako episode because everybody's pretty bored. When then people redundant talking about the same thing over and over again. But obviously, you can't like take this lightly, you know. So, all you need to maintain social distancing and follow all the precautions. So let's go ahead.
Please.
Yeah. Let's go ahead with our episode.
Yeah. So today we will be talking about habits, right?
Yeah.
Because I think we really feel too much about this, like how we're creatures of habits and everything that we do is actually repetitions and every action that we take is kosto unconsciously leadako actions because of our habits. So today what we're doing is we took 2 books, I know, Chowle euta मैले euta ani we read both of the books. I mean, भन्नाले like which book did you take?
मैले पहिले पनि I started this तर मैले finish गरेको थिएन तर अब यो episode गर्ने बहानामा पनि it gave me a motivation to finish it. So मैले चाहिँ Atomic Habits पढाए हो James Clear को. It's pretty interesting.
सेम मलाई पनि लाइक द पावर अफ ह्याबिट्स चाहिँ पढ्न मन थियो पहिलादेखि नै इट वाज इन माई रिडिङ टु रिड लिस्ट तर या दिस वाज द मोटिभेसन सो आई रेड द पावर अफ ह्याबिट्स बाई चार्ल्स ड्युइक या
So tell us about like what Timro book what he talks about.
It's literally how habits are so powerful भनेर क्या हुन्छ नि so it gives us a lot of examples of how habit is so powerful भनेर just because people can literally I mean people भन्दा नि big organizations हैन they can literally track your habit and tell you what you need before you know what you need के so there is this example हैन target को example दिथे के so they're very you know they're constantly keeping track of उनीहरुको कस्टमर्सहरुको habit अनि एक दिन चाहिँ लाइक देयर इज दिस फादर हैन एकजना कसको ड्याडले चाहिँ कल गर्छ क्या टार्गेटमा लाइक व्हाट द हेल यु गाइज आर सेलिङ प्रेग्नेन्सी किट्स टु माई डटर लाइक वाट इज दिस खालेको भनेर रिसाएर कल गर्छ क्या अनि द म्यानेजर इज लाइक सो सक्ड बिकज लाइक दे सेन्ड इन स्याम्पल्स एन्ड लाइक यु नो प्रोमो एड्सहरू यताउति पठाएर हुन्छ नि त अनि इज लाइक सो स्टार्टल्ड है अनि उसले चाहिँ लाइक हि अपोलोजाइजेस के बिकज इज लाइक सो इन्फ्युरिएटेड है द फादर अनि त्यसपछि लाइक ओके सरी आइम रियली सरी आई डोन्ट नो हाउ द्याट ह्यापन इट्स प्रब्ली अ मिस्टेक भनेर भन्छ क्या अनि भोलिपल्ट पनि हि कल्स होइन द म्यानेजर जस्ट टु लाइक अपोलोजाइज अगेन अनि द सेकेन्ड टाइम कल गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ द ड्याड इज लाइक टोन अलिकति डाउन हुन्छ उसको अनि इज लाइक या इट्स अल राइट आई वाज अनअवेयर अफ थिङ्स द्याट माई डटर वाज डुइङ भन्नु भन्छ क्या सो उसको डटर वाज एक्चुली प्रेग्नेन्ट एन्ड हि डिन्ट नो अबाउट इट रहेछ क्या
Yeah.
So that's how, you know, when people can track your habits, you become predictable भनेर बुझाउन खोजेको हो क्या because this
is like things the habit ma bhayo bhane it's also so big companies do take big data and like predict your next move भनेर obviously that's scary अब यसको चाहिँ is like so deep के अब let's not go into like the big data and like all the digital but then like the habit thing
even if you just like buy cereals in Target and not like तिमी every month आउँछ and you just buy cereals it's obvious that you're buying milk from somewhere else नि त right so what they're gonna do is like they're just gonna send you a sample of हुन्छ नि free sample of milk or like 20% discount यस्तो गरेर to keep like to put that idea in your head के that you can find it here and it's actually more convenient भनेर so that's on like tracking your habit के
I know मैले चाहिँ like how obviously the companies that are tracking the habits it's like also customers हरुले every week के buy गर्छ अनि त्यसमा के changes भयो त्यसको अनुसारले they predict नि त
right
what's going on भनेर and that's why he like the company predicted she was pregnant भनेर that's why they sent him up. So they like the change in habit
फेरि like habits they're all अब if you think about it biologically habits are just made to save effort के because the brain is constantly looking for ways to save your effort नि त so when you form that habit it makes it easier for the brain के
यो about effort को कुरा आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ हैन लाइक मैले पहिले पढ्दाखेरि के जर्डन पिटरसनको बुक्सहरू पढ्दाखेरि when I used to listen to his hearings and he used to talk a lot about the order chaos को बारेमा के हैन so order is something you know about you like do हैन तिमीलाई थाहा भएको कुरा हो के तिम्रो लाइफमा जे पनि there's like order र chaos हुन्छ नि chaos is the unknown order is the known अनि तिमीले तिम्रो लाइफमा हैन जति कुराहरू orderमा ल्याउन सक्छ नि हैन so the more you can dive into chaos फेरि chaos is not नराम्रो कुरा के हैन chaos ले चाहिँ तिमीलाई it's like new things हैन which you need to explore के अब जब तिमीले त्यस्तो कुराहरू गर्नु
पर्ने कुरा
एफर्ट लाउनु पर्ने कुरा सिक्नु पर्ने कुराहरू हो के तिम्रो chaos भनेको चाहिँ chaos is the unknown chaos is the possibilities
like getting out of your comfort zone
getting out of your comfort zone so the more things you can get under your order ni the more time you have to explore the chaos ke हैन अनि सो म यो कुराहरूमा चाहिँ how it related to me was हुन्छ नि I was reading and listening to a lot of Peterson when I was in Bangkok अनि त्यति बेला चाहिँ I used to cook my own food all measured हैन so what I eat in a day was all planned out के मलाई पहिलेदेखि नै थाहा हुन्थ्यो नि त म के खान्छु के गर्छु भनेर so me what time I wake up what time I go to the gym what I eat was under order के so every single day म बिहान उठ्ने बित्तिकै म बेलुकासम्म के खान्छु त्यो अर्डरमा आयो नि त so I didn't even have to worry about म के खाने के because when somebody has breakfast you have to worry about what you have like lunch मा के खाने भनेर especially when you're like out alone like हुन्छ नि के खाने के बनाउने
if you're training
yeah so that goes into chaos but if you can bring those simple things into order make that a habit and bring it into order then you have more time to think about the chaos in life okay? and bring those into order so मलाई यो so you can also relate this with habits okay? how you can bring in like हुन्छ नि तिमीले जति कुराहरु तिम्रो you do out of habit that is order okay अब the first time you're learning how to drive a car हुन्छ नि you're conscious about like where your hand is where you're like the gear you're in like clutch whatever हुन्छ नि you're conscious about everything तर तिमी जति you get like हुन्छ नि habituated and तिम्रो everything kind of moves on its own okay so timro it goes into like chaos butter it goes into order okay so you don't have to think about it
so now so like if you have the chaos in order now you can think about some other chaos
yeah so now you can think about some other chaos and bring that into order okay so you have more order in your life
okay interesting
and अर्को चाहिँ like हुन्छ नि अब I've not even got to the book yet हैन तर बुकमा भनेको कति कुराहरु so मैले चाहिँ it's not just about like our reading is also a habit हुन्छ नि listening to people
definitely.
like learning is a habit okay
yeah
learning is a habit and so मलाई चाहिँ अब the more I learn the more जति धेरै पर्सपेक्टिभ्सहरु भयो नि and like त्यति कुराहरु you can relate के अब मैले जेम्स क्लियर पढ्दाखेरि उले भनेको कुराहरु I can relate to what I read about like हुन्छ नि what Carl Jung wrote हुन्छ नि what Peterson wrote हैन and so त्यो कुराहरुमा I can like relate that के अनि सेम order र chaos को चाहिँ मलाई Carl Jung को like he talks a lot about the subconscious mind के हैन he talks about how if you don't like हुन्छ नि realize तिम्रो subconscious it's going to take over your conscious भनेर के तिम्रो subconscious mind ले नै सबै कुराहरु like it does so many things like तिमीले consciously like हुन्छ नि process गर्दैनौ के he talks a lot about the conscious and the subconscious you know so to be aware of every single thing you're doing ke you do it out of habit which is your subconscious mind ke
त्यही exactly
तिमीले the I mean सुरुमा you start about तिमीले जुन चाहिँ like drive गर्दाखेरि you zone out जस्तो कुरा गरे नि you don't even remember you sit in the car and like you remember getting in the car and like then
I think we didn't mention this wala episode ma
yeah so there's okay this has happened I guess to most people who drive you know who drive so what happens is imagine this and you get into your car and you're like thinking about going to a place and you know the destination and that's something like मलाई चाहिँ जिम जाँदाखेरि हुन्थ्यो because I used to take the same route every single day हुन्छ नि and it was just like my subconscious brain चल्थ्यो I used to get into the car and I only remember like getting out के त्यो बिचको बाटोमा के भयो त I completely zone out हुने के because you don't have it comes out of habit and like that is your subconscious mind driving जस्तो पनि हुन्छ के कति कुराहरुमा बुझ्यौ
त्यही त like you remember getting in the car and then you remember getting out of the car बिचमा के भयो त यादै हुँदैन के it's just like त्यो habit भएर same बाटो जाने बानी भएर you just like do it without knowing without being conscious के you're relating this with some
त्यही त how मैले अघि भने नि this is like order just like तर orderमा राख्ने तर तिम्रो फेरि order नै तिम्रो subconscious mindले गर्छ के त्यो बुझ्यौ like the more things you put into order I'm trying to make a connection between what Peterson said and what Carl Jung said okay हुन्छ नि
Yeah. Because यो बुकमा पनि it gives an example अब रिसर्चको हो होइन 1990s को MIT मा गरेको अनि what they do is like ratsहरूलाई एउटा मेजमा राख्छ अनि एउटा ठाउँमा चाहिँ like chocolate राखिदिन्छ क्या so first time when they do it when they scan their brains it's like very random क्या the brain signals it's very random they're just like following the smell and हुन्छ नि they finally find where the chocolate is, I know. But after doing it again and again, the chocolate is placed at the same spot. Okay? So after some time, they develop a habit, nita, kacha chocolate bana tha huncha nita unharलाई. And after that point, where they realize where the chocolate is, and when they, engrave that habit of finding the pattern, unharko त्यो brain signals huncha ni, it's equivalent, it's similar to that of when they're asleep, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically your brain trying to save effort. Don't you think about like okay fine कति कुरामा चाहिँ brainले effort save गरिरहेछ हैन when it becomes too much you just become so disconnected के you just become so हुन्छ नि unconscious like त्यो conscious हुन नै सक्दैन के अब like this is the just like an example of how they found the pattern of where the chocolate is नि त
Yeah.
So there is this other example of how a girl had this compulsive need to bite her nails ke every now and then हुन्छ नि अति नै compulsively she used to like bite her nails ke to a point where she doesn't even know like उसले दिनको कतिचोटि like nails bite गर्छ भनेर के it's just like so engraved in her routine के so like what like she was facing that problem a lot and like clinic ma jancha to like get that habit out of her system how can she do it vanera and then they introduce her to the habit loop so basically there are like 3 steps habit loop ma you first get a cue or a key and then you do the routine so in her case the routine is to bite her nails and then the reward is probably satisfaction so what I'm trying to say is like usko case ma ta she doesn't even know what her key is ke like she's so
what triggers her
like tinle Carl Jung ko kura gare ni about how it's like subconsciously driven huncha bhanera the habit is so engraved she doesn't even know why she does it and for what bhanera ke so ulai चाहिँ के गर्छ भन्दा चाहिँ like okay 1 week ma चाहिँ keep a journal of तिमी दिनको कतिचोटि you reach for your fingers to bite them भनेर भन्छ क्या first week मा hardly 5 times she notices के but then like हुन्छ नि reinforce गर्दा गर्दै 2-3 हप्तापछि गर्दा it got to a point where she like jotted down for like 28 times a day के after a point you're saving so much effort that you don't even know where your effort is going के बुझ्यो मैले भने So that's on the downside of bad habits,
But like like we talked about rats finding patterns and like but oily the modern way of life that is out of habit that is like wake up like your 2020 let's say I think that like it's put a break on that like wake up like have your and go to the toilet like have your breakfast like go to the job get your train get your bus go to the office do the 9 to 5 then like come back the same rat routine the rat race going on and that becomes a habit and you don't even think about it you don't even think about doing anything other than that and I think like you think about bad habits it just kills the conscious and makes like just like going to work going
mundane.
to doing things mundane and there's it also like kills the creativity pani curiosity pani kill garcha jasto लाग्छ के मलाई
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like your habit wala kura चाहिँ there has to be a balance, ke? You get what I'm saying? For you to do something consistently, to like get to a point, you have to develop a habit. Right now, but if you want to like, I don't know, be an expert in some subject, you have to like build a habit of reading maybe, I know. So building a habit is also good, okay?
Yeah.
But then once you go past that balance, it's just going to be mundane and it's just going to kill your creativity. Kya timle bhane jaste.
Yeah.
So you can't really
like
say it's good or bad.
Spontaneous हुनुपर्ने के लाइफमा जुन चाहिँ हुन्छ नि त्यो पनि is important. So there is both, okay, like good habits हुन्छ अनि bad habits हुन्छ हैन. At the end of the day, like we build habits, but in the long run, our habits build us, you know. Ooh. Yeah. And so, I would say let's get into how do we build like good habits and get rid of bad habits, right? Okay. Before we start, I want to give this short example, which I read. The Brain That Changes Itself. But I forgot the writer's name. But that's a very good book if you want to pick up. It's about like how the brain works and everything. It's really nice. And so त्यसमा चाहिँ एउटा example के दिएको हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि it's like there's this father and a son and they're walking in a park हुन्छ नि, and the father like says to the kid, to the son, you know, go pick up that flower भन्छ के. It's a small plant, and so he just like goes and like duita fingerly he just like plucks the flower, and it's so easy, you know. Then they walk a couple of steps, and then there's like a small bush, you know, and he's like go pick up that bush once again. So with his one hand the boy can take out the bush, you know, like pluck it from the roof, like roots, you know. Then त्यहाँबाट उता गएपछि अलि ठुलो झाडी हुन्छ के. So go like हुन्छ नि, take out that झाडी भन्छ हैन, and then he takes both his hands and like takes it out हुन्छ नि. अलिकति एकदम गाह्रो गरेर भए पनि सानो बच्चाले बल्ल तल्ल निकाल्छ हैन. Then they reach to a tree, हैन. Then they reach to a tree and he's like go take out that tree भन्छ के. अनि obviously सक्दैन हैन. So habits are same के.
Okay.
सानो हुँदाखेरि it's like removable pretty easy हुन्छ नि. If you have a habit of I don't know, just like subconsciously playing with your pen or something, and if you just start and if you're conscious about it, maybe you can stop then. But like the more you like let it be, and it just like goes on and on and on, and it's so engraved like deep inside your brain that you just can't stop. Okay? Just like the kid got your nail biting one thing, you know, maybe she started when she was very young, you know. And it wouldn't be a problem for her if she like just like was conscious about it and she would stop. But then like to subconscious mind, it became her order. Okay? Then it was like placed in her subconscious mind, and then like she did it, like she didn't do it consciously. It was like her subconscious mind that was doing it. That's out of habit, you know. And it's like deeper. The roots are like so deeply engraved that people can't just stop. You know, so that is the power of habits. Okay, how like all habits start very very small, but then like these small habits can have so big changes in our life. Okay, and atomic habits ma चाहिँ के भन्छ भन्दा you don't need to have big habits. Okay, कुनै पनि like कसैको पनि life मा it's not something that you do, big things that you do today that like makes a change. Okay, like तिमीले एउटा marathon दौडेर तिमी healthy हुँदैनौ के. It's like the 10 minutes walk every single day that you do, which makes you like fitter. It's just an example. So it's not doing something once, like doing something huge once that's going to make a change. Okay? It's like I heard this somewhere. No, it's like it took me 10 years to be an overnight success. One essay.
Oh, okay.
You get it. So. Like it's not like, you running habits, or like coming.
They're important, exactly. It's obviously habits because it's like done repeatedly, I know. That is what shapes you, nita. Obviously. Din bharma like ke nakhaikana basera you're not going to lose like 10 pounds. But your conscious decision of skipping that extra chamcha of bhat huncha ni. done repeatedly over like a month or so will help instead.
Oh shit, months
But
and
like
no, it takes more than that.
okay, sorry. Teta, I was getting at okay because the book also talks about how habits cannot be changed but can be replaced. Okay.
Yeah.
So even in Agina a girl ko example, you know, she
Mhm.
was introduced to a term called competing response. So as we talked about the 3 Qs, you know, key, any routine, any response.
Yeah.
I know. So reward, sorry. So every time she got that urge to bite her nails, instead of biting it, what she could instead do was like put her hands under her legs or in her pocket or maybe fiddle with a pen. Okay?
Yeah.
So what the book talks about is like तिम्रो habitsहरु चाहिँ change गर्न सकिँदैन हैन, but what you can do is like replace them भनेर क्या. So
Yeah.
suppose I have a habit of smoking, right? Like म अति like chain smoker नै भयो भने, the first thing is to be conscious, right? Be conscious of why you need that cigarette. Is it the nicotine that you crave, or is it because you're bored, or is it because you feel lonely? I know. So once you like figure out your key, which again happens not overnight, but after being conscious again and again, each time you reach for that cigarette, okay? So every time you get that urge, instead of, you know, actually smoking a cigarette, what you can do is maybe read a book or do 5 push-ups or meditate, you know, because that's how most of the people have overcome their habit of smoking cigarettes, okay?
Yeah.
So that is that is a take on corresponding response, okay? So तिमीले त्यो habitलाई eradicate गर्ने भन्दा पनि you'll have to replace it with something better भन्छ के. So त्यो habit loop हुन्छ नि, जुन चाहिँ त्यो loop छ नि, where you get that key अनि तिमी you do your routine अनि then you reach for that reward. त्यो loop चाहिँ it's gonna go on and on and on and on. But what you can do is replace the routine भन्छ क्या उसले चाहिँ. So if you're struggling with any bad habits, that's the way to go.
Yep.
Be conscious of your key and then apply a competing response.
I believe we reached to the end very fast. So obviously, like your book, it talks about the same thing. It talks about how you have to identify there is a cue. And let's say I learned this. How it's about like building habits, say by dog training.
Ooh.
Like when I first got Miro like puppy, his name is Zuko. Yes. And then like lockdown on I had like ample time, and so all I used to do was watch YouTube videos and like watch how to train your dog. And this one is the same thing. First you have to give them a cue. Like cue dini, then like uli response garcha. I know. Until response ko reward dini, and then that becomes a habit nita.
Right. I remember studying this in psychology, classical conditioning.
Yeah, classical conditioning. I know.
Right.
So that is also like kind of building habit only, you know. So you tell him to sit, that is the cue, you know.
Definitely.
You tell him to sit, to indication, you know, sits, you know, and then you give him a reward. Because then that becomes a habit. So I'll say I learned this from dog training.
Okay.
So thought of, I would say let's get back to my book, you know, because my book was more interesting than what you was talking about. This matzi, it talks a lot about how mini school, ekdamai सानो habits how like it's like a compound interest. Habits it's not like a linear progression. It's a curve. Like I was suppose you go to the gym, you want to go to the gym, you want to build a habit of going to the gym, you know. It's not you're not going to see progress like as about a boli better porsi better. That's not exactly how it's going to happen. It's going to be a slack for a certain time, then bistar is going to pick up, then it's going to hit like go right up, okay? and there will be a demotivation. So if a curve is going eta, and then there is this like yesto curve, you know. So the down point हुन्छ नि यति बेला चाहिँ अलिकति demotivating point हुन्छ के. So this is the point where most people give up.
Yeah, right.
Give up, leave हुन्छ नि. But then what people need to understand is the power of compound interest of habits के. मैले जस्तो अघि भने नि, it's not about तिमी आज एक दिन लाइक हुन्छ नि, आज एक दिन तिमी बिहान उठेर 10 किलोमिटर कुदेर you're not going to be healthy. But if you wake up every single morning and just like walk for 10 minutes and like do that every single day, that is going to make an impact in your life. You know, so the book really talks about how small habits make huge changes, huge impacts in our life, you know. And the second thing what he talks about, say, goal, like everybody has the same goal, okay? Goal setting is not the right way to go. Work on building systems. Because it's so, okay, see, everybody like who is on the track or like everybody in the world has the same goal. Okay? Everybody wants to be rich. Do you think like nobody wants to be rich? Do you think people are not rich because they don't have a goal? Everybody has the similar goal. Okay? Whoever is on the track, no. Like whoever is on the track, their goal is to win. Your goal can be earning $1 million. So if you're a startup, your goal can be earning $1 million. But then if you put together a system to earn money, you put together a system to make better products, to make better decisions, to employ better people, you will reach your goal. Okay?
Right. So I think the power of habit money, it talks about that. Okay? It gives an example of how this team won Super Bowl based on their habits. Okay? Unarko like coach he literally engraved that habit in them to a point where they're not even thinking. Okay? They're not even thinking when they're in the field. It's just like merely their habit. Okay? यति ट्रेन गरेको हुन्छ कि लाइक हुन्छ नि when you're in a position like अब यसपछि के गर्नुपर्छ भने it just like comes automatically. Okay? And the worst thing you can do at that point is like हुन्छ नि stop and think what should I do now भनेर क्या. So the moment you like think about okay अब म के गरौँ and then it just goes away because like you're thinking too much. Okay? So I think I get your point on building the system or building the habit भनौँ न. The key habit it drives so many other things.
No, the key habit the key habit is to build systems. Okay? So the system nahi ho gaya timro habit. Like you can't have a habit of my habit is to run like huncha ni or ke bhanne 100 kilometers marathon bhanera. That's not a habit. Okay? That's a goal. But if you make a habit of like huncha ni running running every morning, doing your training, that is building a system to reach that goal. Okay? So what people need to understand is systems are more important than goals. Right? And then the third point and what he talks about is Timro, there are four, like there is this, he makes this onion kind of a thing. Okay? And how we identify ourselves vanera. So there are 3 layers to behavioral change. So you've identified what you want to do. Suppose you are a smoker and you want to quit smoking. So you have like this 3 layers. If you can see this in the camera, you can see this. Right?
Yes.
In the camera, right? So sabhanda bahira chahi is the outcome. What do you want to do? If you're a smoker and your goal is to quit smoking, the outcome is to quit smoking, And timro bitsako layer is process. How do you quit smoking? And timro tyo bhanda bhitra chahi is identity.
Okay. So how do you identify yourself?
How do you identify yourself? Okay. So what most people do is, I want to quit smoking. So I would rather like chew gum. because I want to be a non-smoker. So they go outside in के outcome, they want the outcome and they went go inside they want the outcome, then they figure out the process, then they identify themselves. But what he says is you have to go inwards out. So first, if you are a smoker trying to quit and somebody offers you a cigarette, you're gonna be like, no, I'm trying to quit.
Okay.
But
so that's outside in.
Just listen to this. So somebody offers you a cigarette and you're like, no, I'm trying to quit. But then if you identify yourself as a non-smoker, and then if somebody offers you a cigarette, they'll be like, no, I'm not a smoker. I want to go to the gym to be a fitter person, but I am a fit person, so I will go to the gym.
Okay.
Bujyo?
That makes sense. Alikati contrasting, like what I read and like what you told me about this, because it had less to do with identifying yourself, but more to do with the habit loop. So yeah, that's interesting though.
यसमा चाहिँ मलाई यो आइडेन्टिटी वाला कुरा त यस्तो स्ट्राइक भएको हो नि, बुझ्यो? यस्तो के अब I'm not gonna lie because I want to be a better person. I am a good person, so I will not lie. Okay.
Right.
Identify yourself before you even do it. Okay. तिमीले outcome के चाहिन्छ त्यसको आधारमा तिमीले identify गर्छौ नि त. Suppose अब के भन्ने त्यही त भने नि.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I will go to the gym to be a certain person. I will go to the gym to be a healthier person. That I am a healthier person, so I will go to the gym. It completely changes the whole way you think about
narrative.
Things. It completely changes the narrative.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah, and this made a really khali kura to me. Because that is how you do things. If you identify yourself as a non-smoker, if you identify yourself as a smoker who's trying to quit, you are fighting a temptation. You are fighting a desire. Because there's always a thing that you're fighting.
Resistance.
But if you identify yourself as a non-smoker, there is no quitting. So yeah, exactly. I think trying to build on to identity is the very important part. It's not as simple, there are things you can work on it, and to कसरी work गर्ने भने चाहिँ तिमीले जुन कुरा भने नि त्यो cue अनि action र routine reward, so त्यही नै हो के. अनि यसमा चाहिँ उले के भन्छ भन्दा there are 4 things भन्छ हैन, त्यही नै हो. Cue, craving, response, reward. उले चाहिँ एउटा extra point छ उसकोमा चाहिँ हैन. So the cue is the same thing हैन, केले चाहिँ तिमीलाई ट्रिगर गर्छ हैन. Craving चाहिँ के ट्रिगर गर्छ हैन. Suppose you see someone smoking and that strikes your craving, and your response is to smoke, and your reward is the feeling that you get after smoking.
Yeah.
And he talks about the same thing. There is avoidance, and you can't just simply remove the root remove, so there will be a void left, So this is it is much easier to replace a habit than to completely remove it.
Right. But okay, what do you think about habits? Suppose I more अति chain smoker हो अनि म smoke गरे गर्छु, and I slowly identify myself as a non-smoker and I'm doing good, but then कतिजना मान्छेको relapse पनि हुन्छ नि त.
Yeah.
Something happens and they just get triggered and they go back to their same old habits. Does the book talk about that, relapse hune and this?
I think the whole relapse hune and these kind of things, I think they are this book talks a lot about how to build new habits and how to overcome your old habits.
Replace the old ones.
Obviously there are relapse or but then it's the same thing. You start from small habits. You can't just quit garchu bhanera quit hune kura haina. And that's what this book come to. you have to make small changes के तिमीले drastic change गरेर हुँदैन के I'm going to be a healthy person, I am a healthy person, म भोलि गएर 200 kg deadlift गर्छु भनेर obviously हुँदैन नि हैन it takes years and years of training नि हैन years of training to do that, but then like you have to make small changes के every single day making like incrementally better. So just imagine about being 1% better than like how you were yesterday.
Oh, now I get why it's called Atomic Habits. Atomic
Habits.
Okay.
He does not talk about like making big changes at all. Usko the whole book is surrounded around how to make small changes. सानो कुराहरु के हुन्छ नि अनि उले चाहिँ अब हाउ टु मेक अब ती हाम्रो 4 कुराहरु आइडेन्टिफाई गर्यो हैन ह्याबिट्स कसरी बन्छ भनेर देयर इज क्यू क्रेभिङ रेस्पोन्स रिवार्ड हैन सो हाउ डु यु बिल्ड तिमीलाई चाहिने ह्याबिट्स लाइक मलाई अब इफ आई वान्ट टु गो टु द जिम इफ आई वान्ट टु वेक अप अर्ली इन द मर्निङ or सपोज मेरो चाहिँ एकदमै नराम्रो बानी छ अफ नट ड्रिङ्किङ वाटर हैन सो इफ आई वान्ट टु स्टे हाइड्रेटेड or drink like I don't know 3 liters 4 liters I don't know the recommended amount but drink a lot of water हुन्छ नि so what I can do is I can make this habit I can make this action easy attractive र मलाई एकदमै सजिलो हुने गरी हुन्छ नि राख्ने के सो what I can do is the main thing I can do is change my environment हैन सो मलाई पहिले if मेरो पानी लिन मात्र if I had to if I'm studying हुन्छ नि if I spend a lot of majority of my time in my room हैन अनि मलाई जहिले पनि पानी लिन if I have to go to the kitchen so I can make a small habit of at least keeping like a bottle in my room के
okay
हुन्छ नि बुझ्यो because अब just imagine make तिम्रो एक्सन्सहरु तिम्रो डिजायरेबल एक्सन्सहरु एज इजी एज पोसिबल हुन्छ नि अनि तिम्रो अनडिजायरेबल एक्टिभिटिजहरु एज डिफिकल्ट एज पोसिबल हैन सो suppose you want to quit smoking and you want to drink you want to stop smoking and you want to create a habit of drinking more water so what you can do is you can put a bottle beside your study table joile pani so it is easier I can just pick up the bottle and drink and suppose if I want to quit smoking then what I can do is I can add steps के मैले जहिले पनि पकेटमा राख्छु भने I can like place it मेरो drawer भित्र के हुन्छ नि then like maybe I can place it अलिकति इन्कन्भिनियन्ट then I can maybe place it गाडीमा मात्र के so I keep my cigarettes only in my car so if I have to smoke हैन like मलाई चाहिँ गएर गाडीसम्म गएर गाडीबाट निकालेर अनि बाहिर स्मोक गर्नु पर्ने के so to make undesirable habits inconvenient for you and make desirable habits convenient for you
right
and मलाई so you can't के तिमीले like आज स्मोक छोड्छु भनेर सक्दैन तर बिस्तारै make it like undesirable के बिस्तारै हुन्छ नि अनि तिमीलाई के हो desirable habits make it easier
right
so you
but
can
then,
do this with anything
deviate boy
yeah
the reason why I asked you about the relapse wala thing is because there is this interesting part in this book it's a like for a habit to be changed I know people must believe change is possible भन्नु थियो क्या त्यसमा चाहिँ there is this line के अनि कस्तो स्ट्राइकिङ लाग्यो क्या मलाई त्यो चाहिँ हैन अनि त्यो पोर्सनमा चाहिँ it talked about the AA group हैन it's very famous Alcoholics Anonymous भन्ने हैन it's like a support group which helps people to get out of their habit of alcohol like consuming alcohol compulsively you know so उनीहरुले चाहिँ के नोटिस गर्यो भन्दाखेरि people who were a part of that AA group Alcoholic Anonymous group मा भएको मान्छेहरु and the ones who were trying to quit on their own there was a difference के if like any one of them हैन went through a tragic life event or maybe like कसैको breakup भयो or divorce भयो or someone passed away हैन or like they got fired from their job त्यस्तो भयो भने चाहिँ the Alcoholic Anonymous group को मान्छेहरु चाहिँ were very less likely to relapse रे के than the people who were you know trying
alone.
to like overcome it on their own and like so these researchers they asked them के like हुन्छ नि what is the reason behind this भनेर भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ they always said that God is looking after me खाली भन्नु भन्थे रे के त्यसमा चाहिँ अनि obviously the researchers hated that answer because God र spirituality त it's not a testable hypothesis नि त so like they started questioning them रे क्या हुन्छ नि religious questions हरू सोध्न थाल्यो रे क्या and it turns out it wasn't God that really mattered हैन but it was the belief that made a difference रे क्या उनीहरुकोमा चाहिँ so regardless of whether or not you believe in God हैन you need that capacity to believe that things will get better भनेर रे के because AA group ko like there was a lot of research done on that you know because it was one of the most successful group in हुन्छ नि like replacing that alcoholic हरुको हुन्छ नि alcoholics हरुलाई improve गर्ने चाहिँ अति बबाल group support group नै थियो क्या but like researchers हरुले कति research गर्दाखेरि पनि it wasn't scientific के the group चाहिँ हुन्छ नि उनीहरुको fixed meeting time पनि थिएन they didn't have any set of हुन्छ नि things that they followed but like the one thing that they had is they followed the habit loop हुन्छ नि so अब ग्रुपमा you know अब like movies हरुमा नि कति देखिरा हुन्छ like हुन्छ नि hi I'm Kritisha and I am an alcoholic खाले वाला हुन्छ नि so like the ग्रुपमा बसेर when they talk about that they're made to think they're made to like be conscious of when they consume alcohol भनेर so in that way they find their key हैन कुन बेला चाहिँ मलाई alcohol खान मन लाग्दो रहेछ is it when I'm sad is it when I'm feeling depressed हैन अनि the routine चाहिँ they try to अब replace it with something else हैन अब like त्यो lonely भइरा बेला sad भइरा बेला maybe they'll call up their sponsor हैन or maybe they'll call up someone from the group and share their experience हैन and that's how they get their reward के हैन but the one key ingredient that they had was that sense of belief के that हुन्छ नि अब like most of the Alcoholic Anonymous को group members they used to meet in church अनि हुन्छ नि they really believed in God के so that belief of हुन्छ नि हैन things will get better things will definitely become अझै more better भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ it gave them hope रे के so त्यो relapse हुने chances was very less भनेको थिए के so that was something interesting and completely हुन्छ नि habit not so habit but again habit खाले के
no man
it sort of like reminded me of हाम्रो त्यो optimistic pessimistic वाला episode के
I know see like that's why I love talking about these things so much because if people like listen to all episodes like from the first to the oily summer ko and like hamro conversations it is so related to one another and it adds on to one another because I for one am very very like intrigued and curious about how the human brain works how we feel the way we feel and why we are the way we are simple things the way we make habits we talked about birth order and the birth order le hamro characteristics banaउँछ तर birth order ले नै like we built habits that built our characteristics हुन्छ नि so बुझ्यो अनि the birth order maybe like birth order plus like being something and like feeling a certain way being optimistic हुन्छ नि it's all like so connected and the more you dive into it the more like religion faith belief हुन्छ नि belief or like everything is maybe like if we dive into this this episode is going to be a bit longer तर मैले तिमीलाई यो पहिले पनि भनिसके so I'll just keep this short so there was this huge like metadata analysis हुन्छ नि जसमा चाहिँ they analyze suicide rates हरुको like सबै suicides हरु अनि तिनीहरुको चाहिँ like data so कति जना मेल थियो कति जना फिमेल थियो कुन कन्ट्रीज हरुबाट थियो अनि कुन रिलिजन को थियो भनेर चाहिँ so let's just focus on if there were like 100 people and like हुन्छ नि who were more likely कुन चाहिँ रिलिजन को मान्छे were more likely to suicide and like less likely to suicide त्यसमा चाहिँ there were like all sorts of religion and everything but then like Muslims हरु चाहिँ were the least likely to suicide and have mental health issues अनि like for me like सुरुमा यो सुन्दा थिए it was like so shocking तर but then like the explanation was kind of made sense because अरू रिलिजनहरू भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ मुस्लिम्स लाइक हुन्छ नि इस्लाम इज अ मोर प्र्याक्टिसिङ रिलिजन के हुन्छ नि सो इस्लाम इज लाइक इट्स अ प्र्याक्टिसिङ रिलिजन एकदमै हुन्छ नि एन्ड प्लस सो इस्लाममा चाहिँ इट्स लाइक कोर बिलिभ द्याट लाइक हुन्छ नि God is everything and like God will look after me and they have this like huge ekdamai unbreakable belief in their God ke you know and so that made a lot of sense so no matter how bad the situation was they always believed that Allah was looking after them and things would get better on it again so just having that somebody else huncha ni looking after you and that faith in God like made them like huncha ni I don't know least suicidal and least huncha ni mental problems or no ni ke and so atheists were the most like people who didn't believe in God were the most likely to suicide and have mental problems huncha ni according to that meta analysis so obviously like it is a bit of a diversion but then like this is also a very very fascinating topic maybe we'll pick up the data in one of a like short episode and maybe we'll like actually dive into this but like our oily we don't like really feel competent about talking about religion and faith because we're just like two friends trying to know like why we are the way we are and like why the society is the way it is and yeah man
yeah
habits
agreed habits yeah तर I think त्यो के भन्छ AA group चाहिँ also help because somehow हुन्छ नि at some point people would just like look around हैन रूममा अनि like if that guy can quit alcohol so can I खालेको attitude पनि हुन्छ रहेछ क्या उनीहरुको चाहिँ
yeah
so that is also something that would
no त्यही नै हो नि त like भनौं न churches Christianity it's not just Islam that had like low maybe like Islam had the lowest like suicidal mental health issues problems but then like was any Christians and like other like religious the more religious you were the less likely you were to have mental health issues okay because the more stronger your faith in like something
right
something right. God just to like you had that faith you were most like least likely to collapse and with the religion it also comes that community ko feel ke it's not just and so I think the AA group was so successful because it was like I think it was like very religiously driven and it had that community ko driven ke so that's what religion does religion gives you of faith, something to believe in, something to truly believe in.
Belongingness.
Yeah, the sense of belongingness and the sense of community. Okay?
Right.
And that makes
they're there for me, Kaliko.
Yeah, exactly. And that helps. Okay? So obviously it helps in habits. It also helps in like making who you are. Also helps in like within dealing with your mental health issues, dealing with everything. Okay? But then like if we go deep into religion there's so much to explore but just
let's not dive there
yeah but then like focusing on AA group ko I think they were like this effective because of the same reasons okay? Because they had a very strong faith and because they had a sense of community
yeah
makes sense
त्यही हो अब habitsहरु if you want to change your habit मलाई अहिलेसम्म लागेको चाहिँ the best thing is to be conscious man like be conscious of your action be conscious of what you exactly want to change okay? And just like observe yourself because it's just like meditation रहेछ क्या यो habit को कुरा पनि त्यो 10% happier को रे Dan Harris I think it was him who said that हुन्छ नि meditation पनि is just like building a muscle हुन्छ नि तिमी meditate गर्दाखेरि 90% of the time your mind is probably going to go wander okay? Wonder about what you're going to eat next or like हुन्छ नि where you're going to go for a vacation or तिम्रो कति के deadline छ or हैन the list goes on and on and on but your job while you're meditating is to catch your mind okay? whenever it starts wandering, okay, my mind is wandering, bhanera, to build that consciousness. Okay? So every time you catch yourself or catch your mind wandering to some other place rather than being present, or like maybe focusing on your breath for that matter, you know, meditation ko bela, like that counts as one bicep curl bhancha kya ule chai. So your job is to like do that repeatedly to, you know, like strengthen your mind ko muscle. And I think the same is the case with habit pani. If you have a bad habit, be conscious of like तिमीलाई कहिले गर्न मन लाग्छ, when do you repeat that routine, हैन, and find alternatives to that routine. The के भन्छ, author of this book पनि he struggled with that ure क्या. He used to like जहिले पनि 3 बजेतिर हैन, आफ्टरनुनमा he would just like go to the cafeteria and eat a cookie रे क्या. And it was just like engraved रे क्या, उसलाई अति नै habit भइसकेको थियो रे. So what he did was like he jotted down कहिले कहिले चाहिँ उसलाई कुकी खान मन लाग्छ भनेर हैन. Like so he came up with the thing that उसलाई 3 बजे नै, when like most of his work is done हैन, त्यति बेला चाहिँ कुकी खान मन लाग्छ हैन. So he sort of like traced that pattern in himself के. अनि like he changed the routine. अनि for that he tried out many things के, हुन्छ नि. Instead of eating the cookie, maybe he would go and buy an apple instead. I know. Actually, for a week he tried that. The next week he tried to like, instead of going to the cafeteria and eating a cookie, he would go to a friend's desk and talk to him for like 10-15 minutes. I know. Aru bela he would just like pura ek round laera aune office ko and then sit back. Eh? So whichever felt better, like all those 3 kuraharu gardaheri, whichever felt like he received a reward just to feel bhayo ni, त्यो चाहिँ he continued doing रे क्या. So changing a habit or building a habit is all about consciousness के.
Yeah.
So I think that's it, man. Like habit को चाहिँ, from the book at least. I got some more insight from the book you read about the identification, आफ्नो self-identify गर्ने, which also adds up, I think.
Yeah. Everything comes to a full circle. So being conscious about what you're doing wrong, being conscious about what you want to do, you know. And I think meditation helps a lot because it makes you conscious about what you're doing, helps you have that conscious, you know. So then another एकदमै effective कुरा is तिमीले त्यो cue केले चाहिँ तिमीलाई trigger गर्छ पत्ता लगाएपछि चाहिँ to make desirable actionsहरू as easy as possible, you know. And give yourself a reward for it. And timro undesirable activities or like put some barriers onto it. So
right.
That seemed like a very good takeaway from this book. And also, if you want to do something, you have to make it specific. What's the one?
Precise.
I want to work out. It's not precise. But if you
it's
say
very vague.
It's very vague. But if you say म भोलि हुन्छ नि यो जिममा गएर 5 बजे यो वर्कआउट गर्छु भन्यो भने त इट इज फिक्स्ड नि त, बुझ्यो. And the more like specific you can make an action, the more likely you are to do it. Okay? You know? So that is also another way to actually build habits. So
have you
start
ever
with
struggled with esto habits?
Oh, a lot. I am struggling right now. I will confess. I am addicted to social media and Instagram.
Same, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, but I have like over the years built a habit of going to the gym. But that took years. I like just came to I tracked down a gym and like went there, met the owner and just like worked out and I'm here. So it's not
I
like
know about that.
Yeah, we travel
Vacations ma pani pura.
Yeah. So we traveled all over Thailand and like I would still like jata travel I would still go to the gym because for me going to the gym is just like taking a poop. It's out like I would just do it anywhere I am.
Yeah, that used to be a yaar जहिले पनि म एलेक्स अहिले प्लान गरेर हुन्थ्यो हैन, like bro हामी यता जाउँ भनेर. And the only way we could convince Chow was to finding him a proper powerlifting gym. Okay?
Yeah.
Which is good, I mean, which is like good.
It's not like to show anybody or do anything, but like That's just how I
For
identify
yourself.
myself, Nita, bujhyo? Now there comes the
Yep.
identification. So that's just how
Yeah.
I identify myself. I am a healthy person, I am a strong person, and I go to, like, who goes like to the gym. Bujhyo?
Yep.
So
Yep,
it's not something extra that I have to do. It is under my order. Okay? I don't have to think twice before going to the gym. You know?
Right.
But then, like,
Yep.
social media and it's so convenient. Okay? It's so damn convenient. Okay? You can just open
I
your.
know. Yeah.
So it's the most convenient thing ever, and that becomes a habit. Okay? Because it is convenient to just do that.
Mother, like, I struggle with this too. Like, your Instagram चलाउनु त हुन्छ नि, it's just like default नै भइसक्यो क्या phone चलाउँदाखेरि.
Exactly.
And I would like हुन्छ नि go on a social media hibernation खालेको हैन, deactivate गरेर 2-3 महिनाको लागि, but like त्यो पनि अहिले I can't really do it because like Dhikichyauको पनि हेरिरहेछ नि त. But like हुन्छ नि, I would like, you know, put a timer के त्यो iPhone मा राख्ने मिल्छ नि, like timer. त्यो timer पनि up भएपछि, since the timer was up and I didn't want to, like, you know, like for 15 minutes गर्न मन नलाएर, I would use Instagram from my desktop. Okay. Not so proud about it, but yeah.
Cheat code ho kya?
I know, it's like I don't even know what I do on social media.
I think from this episode we should like take a vow of kind of like,
you know, like as I was reading this,
man.
right. मैले like यो habit loop पढ्दाखेरि चाहिँ like I was like, okay, no, I should like try this out भनेर पनि गरिरहेको थिएन. So now every time I feel like fiddling हुन्छ नि, अलिकति like so bored feel भयो भने, instead of opening my Instagram, I've started opening the Kathmandu Post ko app. I don't know how long it's gonna work, but let's hope it does. I know, like, but try गर्छु एकचोटि. If not that, I'll try something else. But let's see how it goes. Yeah.
All right. So I think we've come to the end of the episode. We plan to keep it under 30 minutes that we talk a lot. So anyways, this was a very, very interesting episode. I got to learn a lot, and I guess you got to learn a lot as well.
Same.
And I think like Atomic Habits is a very, very interesting book that everyone should pick up and also read. Just read and like try to get as many perspectives as possible, okay? Because
this was a good idea, yaar. दुईजना दुईटा book पढेर.
Yeah, because we had.
It's like reading 2 books now, क्या अब?
Yeah, exactly. You can read different books and like come together and sit and say, oh yeah, हाले पनि हुन्छ. Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Coffee 8848 and My Fitness Peanut Butter. They're like good products, guys. You should like definitely try them out.
Yeah.
And having said that, I think we've come to the end of today's podcast. Do you have anything to say from Janakpur?
Yes, all the way from Janakpur. Please do visit Janakpur if you guys can. Janakpur is a very fun place. And it's not a very fun place, but do visit. Like there are like cool places. Janakpur, I am trying to promote my hometown. I did grow up here. Majority time, my childhood I spent here. And Janki Mandir is one like very, very beautiful place, and there are like temples everywhere, and there are ponds everywhere. So you can go around and have amazing food. The food
yes,
here
you've mentioned that so much. मलाई कस्तो street food try गर्नु मन छ त्यहाँको.
Yeah, Janakpurko food is insane. If you guys ever do visit, please and like let me know, hit me up. I will definitely arrange something. Like try to arrange something.
You would want to pick your words very carefully.
Yeah, ठिक छ. But then like do visit Janakpur.
Call पछि भन्दा त
ठिक छ, तर धेरै मान्छे आउँदैन जनकपुर, I know, तर it's fine.
Okay.
So there you go. That is it for today. And another thing, I'm trying to that this has been a very interesting thing, and this has been a very interesting topic. So हामीले जे कुरा गरेको थियो maybe like we should do it ourselves and maybe like we should try to
right.
decrease like हुन्छ नि हाम्रो bad habits. So I think like this is a takeaway for ourselves. हुन्छ नि मलाई चाहिँ एकदमै like this is something I'm struggling with and I'm gonna put हामीले आज जे कुरा गरे नि I'm gonna put that into practice and
right. Let's keep a journal, man. Like okay मैले आज दिनमा कतिचोटि Instagram चलाएँ or like
yeah. So that is your idea, you keep it to yourself. I know, let's do that.
Okay, fine.
So
okay,
this is it for today's episode and we will see you in the next one. Bye.